she said. Even if I stay out all night, I'm not obligated to explain where I am. I replied, okay, then neither am I. The next day, I made a decision about a job offer I had received from another country, one I had been planning to reject. Instead, I accepted it. Without telling her anything, I left. A year later, we ran into each other unexpectedly. When she saw me with another woman, she started crying. Then she told me something that was truly shocking. My name is Aaron, and I'm a 32-year-old software architect. I work remotely for a tech firm based in Seattle, though I've always preferred the quiet neighborhoods of Portland, Oregon. I make decent money, not Silicon Valley ridiculous, but enough to live comfortably and save aggressively. I'm not the kind of guy who needs flashy cars or designer clothes. I value stability, honesty, and mutual respect above everything else. 3 years ago, I met Lauren at a mutual friend's birthday party in downtown Portland. She was 28, working as a marketing consultant, and had this infectious energy that drew people in. Dark blonde hair, sharp green eyes, and a laugh that could fill a room. We hit it off immediately over terrible karaoke and cheap wine. Within 6 months, we were living together in a 2-bedroom apartment with exposed brick walls overlooking the city. The first 2 years were solid. We traveled together, weekend trips to the coast, a vacation in Costa Rica, camping in the Cascades. We cooked meals on weeknights, binge-watched shows on lazy Sundays. She had her friends, I had mine, and we respected each other's space. I thought we were building something real. But somewhere around the 2.5-year mark, things started shifting. She'd come home later than usual, without mentioning where she'd been. She'd spend hours on her phone, angling the screen away whenever I walked by. Her responses became shorter, distracted. When I'd ask about her day, she'd give vague answers. Fine. Busy. The usual. I didn't think much of it initially. Everyone's entitled to privacy, right? I gave her the benefit of the doubt because that's what you do when you love someone. Then came the night that changed everything. Update 1. It was a Thursday in late September. I remember because I had a big presentation the next morning for a potential client, a Fortune 500 company that could have meant a massive contract for our firm. Lauren texted me around 6 p.m. saying she was going out with coworkers for drinks at some new bar downtown. Cool, have fun. Be safe. I texted back. Will do. Don't wait up, she replied. By 11 p.m., I was in bed, half asleep with my laptop beside me, going over notes one last time. That's when I realized she still wasn't home. I checked my phone, no new messages. I sent her a quick text. Hey, you good? No response. I figured maybe her phone died. I tried to go to sleep, but something felt off. Midnight came and went. Then 1 a.m. Then 2 a.m. By 3 a.m., I was wide awake, pacing the living room, genuinely worried. This wasn't like her. I called her twice, both times straight to voicemail. Hey, it's me. Just checking in. Call me when you get this. I texted her friends, Kelsey, Amanda, Beth. Nobody responded. The silence was eating at me. I considered calling hospitals, but that felt dramatic. I sat on the couch, staring at the door, imagining worst-case scenarios. She finally walked through the door at 4:47 a.m. Her makeup was smudged, black streaks under her eyes. Her hair was messy, half fallen out of the bun she'd left in. She reeked of alcohol, cigarette smoke, and cologne that wasn't mine. Where the hell were you? I asked, standing up, trying to keep my voice steady. She kicked off her heels, letting them clatter against the hardwood floor, barely looking at me. Out. Out where? I've been calling you for hours. I was about to call the police, Lauren. She sighed, like I was being the most annoying person in the world. Aaron, I'm an adult. I don't need to check in with you every 5 minutes. Check in. Heat rose in my chest. Lauren, you were gone all night. You didn't answer your phone once. I thought something happened to you. I was terrified. She walked past me toward the bedroom, wobbling slightly. I was with friends. We lost track of time. It's not a big deal. I followed her down the hallway. Not a big deal. You couldn't send one text? Do you know how worried I was? She turned around in the doorway of our bedroom, and that's when I saw it. This flash of irritation, maybe even contempt. Something cold and distant. Even if I stay out all night, I'm not obligated to explain where I am. The words hit me like ice water. I stood there stunned. What did you just say? You heard me, she said, pulling off her earrings. I'm not your property, Aaron. I don't owe you a minute-by-minute breakdown of my life. We're partners, not parent and child. Something in me snapped, not into anger, but into this strange, cold clarity. I nodded slowly. Okay, I said quietly. Then neither am I. She paused, looked at me like she was about to argue, then just shrugged. Fine. She went into the bathroom and closed the door. I went back to the living room and sat on the couch, staring at the wall until the sun came up. Update 2. The next morning, I went to my presentation running on 0 sleep and pure adrenaline. I crushed it, answered every question, left the room knowing we'd land the contract. My boss congratulated me, clapped me on the shoulder. But my mind wasn't really there. I kept replaying Lauren's words, her tone, the way she looked at me like I was an inconvenience. When I got back to the apartment around 2 p.m., Lauren was already gone. A note on the counter said she had client meetings all afternoon. Again, I sat down and opened my email. There it was, the message I'd been sitting on for 3 weeks. A company in Dublin, Ireland. Senior software architect position with a 40% pay bump, full relocation package, stock options, cutting-edge projects. They'd reached out through LinkedIn, flown me out for interviews in September, made me an offer a week later. I'd been planning to turn it down because of Lauren. Because I thought we had a future. I stared at that email, thinking about the woman who'd just told me she didn't owe me explanations. Then I hit reply and typed, I accept your offer. When do I start? They responded within an hour. Start date, November 1st. 4 weeks away. I didn't tell Lauren. I went through the motions, came home, made dinner, watched TV beside her. She barely noticed. She was always on her phone, always out with friends, or working late. Some nights she'd come home at 1 or 2 a.m., slip into bed without a word, and be gone before I woke up. I started packing in secret. Took boxes to my buddy Trevor's garage during lunch breaks. Sold my car privately. Transferred money into a separate account. Updated my mailing address. Canceled subscriptions, gym membership, everything tied to Portland. Man, if she doesn't respect you, you don't owe her anything. Trevor said over beers one night. You tried. She checked out. That's on her. I just feel like I'm running away, I admitted. You're not running away. You're running towards something better. On October 29th, I called the landlord and paid my half through the end of the year, plus an extra month. On October 30th, I packed the last of my things while Lauren was at brunch, something that now lasted 6 hours. I left my keys on the kitchen counter, along with a check for 2 months' rent. No note. No explanation. I boarded a flight to Dublin the next morning at 6 a.m. Update 3. The first few months in Dublin were surreal. New city, new job, new everything. I threw myself into work, learning systems, meeting my team, proving myself. On weekends, I explored, walked along the River Liffey, visited Trinity College, drank Guinness in Temple Bar, took trips to the cliffs of Maher and Galway. I joined a football league, started running along the coast every morning. I felt lighter somehow, like a weight had been lifted that I didn't realize I'd been carrying. Lauren tried reaching out. The text started 2 days after I left. Aaron, where are you? Seriously, where did you go? Your stuff is gone. Are you seriously ghosting me right now? This is so immature. Call me. Then came the calls. Dozens over the first month. I never answered. I'd watch my phone light up with her name. A photo from Costa Rica, both of us grinning on a beach, and let it ring until it stopped. By Christmas, the calls became less frequent. By January, they stopped. Around March, I met someone. Her name was Siobhan, pronounced Siobhan. She taught me after I butchered it 3 times. She was a project manager at a partner firm, 30 years old, red hair, freckles, sharp wit, and a laugh that made me feel genuinely happy again. We met at a networking event, started chatting about the impossibility of good Mexican food in Dublin, ended up getting drinks. We started dating casually, dinners, weekend trips to Cork and Belfast, pub trivia nights. It was easy, comfortable. She didn't play games. When she said she'd call, she called. When she was running late, she texted. When something bothered her, she talked about it. It was such a stark contrast to what I'd left behind. By August, we were serious. My career was thriving, my personal life healthy. I felt like myself again. Then my company sent me to a 2-week conference in San Francisco. Siobhan flew out to meet me for the last few days. We planned to explore the city, eat our way through the food scene. I figured it was safe. Portland was 600 miles north. What were the odds? On our last night in San Francisco, I took Siobhan to an upscale Italian place in North Beach. The restaurant was beautiful, dim lighting, exposed brick, jazz playing softly. We were laughing, waiting for appetizers, when I saw her. Lauren. She was standing near the hostess stand with two women, scanning the restaurant. Then our eyes met. For a second, neither of us moved. Then she started walking toward me, weaving between tables. Aaron. I set down my wine glass. Lauren. She looked different. Thinner, like she'd lost 20 pounds. Her face was more angular, tired. Dark circles under her eyes. Her hair was shorter, darker. She glanced at Siobhan, then back at me, her eyes already watering. Can we talk? She asked, her voice shaking. Siobhan looked at me, confused. I nodded. Give me a minute. Of course, Siobhan said softly, squeezing my hand. Lauren and I stepped outside into the cool evening. The street was loud, cars honking, cable car rattling past, tourists everywhere. Fog rolled in from the bay. What the hell, Aaron? She said immediately, tears forming. You just left? No explanation? One day you're there, the next you're gone. I could ask you the same thing, I said calmly. You checked out months before I left. That's not fair, isn't it? You stayed out all night. You told me you didn't owe me explanations. You treated me like I was controlling you for caring. She wiped her eyes, mascara smudging. I was going through something. I didn't know how to talk to you about it. So you stayed out until 5 in the morning? Ignored my calls. Made me feel like I didn't matter? She opened her mouth, closed it, looked down. When she looked back up, her eyes were streaming. I was pregnant. Everything stopped. My heart hammered. What? I was pregnant, Aaron. Her voice cracked. That night, I came home late. I just found out that day. I took 3 tests at work. I was terrified. I didn't know what to do. So I went to my friend Kelsey's place. We talked all night. I drank too much. I smoked. I made terrible decisions because I was panicking. I should have told you, but I couldn't find the words. My mind raced. What happened? Her face crumpled. I miscarried. 2 weeks after you left. I was alone, bleeding, scared. I went to the ER by myself. I tried calling you. I needed you, and you were gone. The guilt hit hard. Lauren, I know, she said quickly, holding up her hand. I know it's my fault. I pushed you away. I made you feel like you didn't matter. But I was scared, Aaron. So scared of what having a baby would mean, whether you'd even want it. We never talked about kids. My mom got pregnant young and my dad left, and I think I was convinced you'd do the same thing. So I pushed you away first. We stood there, pedestrians flowing around us. Inside, I could see Siobhan at our table. Why didn't you tell me that night? I asked quietly. She shook her head, tears streaming. I don't know. I thought you'd be upset, or try to control the decision. I was irrational. I was terrified. I handled it all wrong. I exhaled slowly. I'm sorry you went through that alone. I really am. But you made choices, Lauren. You chose not to trust me. You chose not to let me in. She nodded. I know. And I lost you because of it. She looked toward the window. She seems nice. She is. Good. Lauren gave a sad smile. You deserve that. You always deserved better than how I treated you. She wiped her face. I've been in therapy for 6 months, trying to understand why I self-sabotage. I'm on antidepressants. I moved to Austin, closer to my sister. I'm trying to do better. I'm glad you're getting help, I said, and meant it. Thank you. She took a shaky breath. I should let you get back? I just needed you to know the truth. I understand, I said, and I'm sorry for how things ended. But we both made mistakes. Goodbye, Aaron. Goodbye, Lauren. She walked back inside, grabbed her friends, and left. I stood there for another minute, feeling numb and sad and relieved all at once. Final update. I flew back to Dublin 2 days later. Siobhan and I talked through everything on the flight, honest conversation about my past, about Lauren, about what happened. She listened without judgment, held my hand, didn't make me feel guilty. It's one of the reasons I knew she was different. Lauren and I exchanged a few emails after that. She apologized again, explained more about her therapy, told me she was doing better. New job, living near her sister, rebuilding. I told her I was glad, that I hoped she found happiness. But we both knew there was no going back. 6 months later, I proposed to Siobhan at the cliffs of Moher. She said yes before I even finished asking. We're planning a small wedding in Galway next spring, just close friends and family. My life is good now. Genuinely good. I live in a city I love. I'm engaged to a woman who communicates, who trusts me, who lets me in instead of pushing me away. I don't wake up anxious. I don't wonder where I stand. I think about Lauren sometimes, usually late at night. I wonder if things could have been different if we'd communicated better, if she'd trusted me. But I also know that some relationships are meant to teach you what you won't accept, not what you will. I don't regret leaving. I regret how it happened. I wish I'd tried one more time. I wish she'd trusted me with the truth. But I don't regret choosing myself when it became clear she'd already chosen to keep me at arm's length. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away from someone who refuses to meet you halfway. Edit 1. A few people asked if I ever spoke to Lauren again. We didn't. She's still in Austin, working for a startup, dating someone new from what I've heard. She seems happier. I'm genuinely glad for her.